Hi students, in this chapter we are going to study about physical and chemical changes. You see, there are many changes that occur all around us. For example, water boils, isn't it? And it produces steam. A bulb lights up when we turn on its switch. Similarly, ice cream starts melting. So, all these changes can be divided into two parts, physical changes and chemical changes. What are physical changes? And what are chemical changes? For example, when paper burns, we call it a chemical change. When a plant blossoms, it's a chemical change. And when food is cooked, it's a chemical change. So, what is the main difference between these kind of changes? That's what we'll study in this chapter. So, let's proceed. Here we go. First of all, let's understand what physical changes are. A physical change is one in which no new substance is formed. That's it. That's the simple definition of a physical change. You see, in a physical change, a change is occurring. Something is happening. However, no new substance is being produced. The substance remains as it is. In fact, if we could write down the characteristics of physical changes, then the first characteristic would be that the identity of the substances does not change in case of a physical change. Understood? The substance remains just the same. Similarly, since the substance is the same, the physical changes can also easily be reversed. So, if you take a substance from point A to point B, you can get it back from point B to point A. Easy reversing of the change is possible. Now, all this might seem weird initially, so let's consider some examples to clarify exactly what a physical change is. The lighting of an electric bulb is a physical change. Here, I turn on the switch and the bulb lights up. I turn off the switch and the bulb goes off. I turn on the switch and the bulb lights up again. This is a physical change because, in the case of a bulb, there's a substance called a filament, and this filament heats up and cools down. That's what happens, when we press the switch. When I press the switch to light a bulb, the filament inside the bulb gets heated up and it produces a lot of light. That's the light, we generally see when a bulb lights up. When we switch off the bulb, the filament cools down again. The interesting point is that the filament remains the same. No new substance is being formed. That's the reason the lighting of an electric bulb is a physical change, because the filament does not become something else. It remains like a filament. It's made up of a substance called tungsten, and tungsten remains tungsten whether you light the bulb or whether you don't light the bulb. Understood? So in a physical change, some change is occurring, but the substance does not change into a completely new substance. It remains the same. The second example of a physical change is the boiling of water. As you can see, I've poured some water into this pan and now the water is boiling. Now, water molecules remain water molecules even though water becomes steam. But steam and water still contain the same water molecules, isn't it? The substance does not change. Water does not become, say, gold or silver or mercury. It remains water, isn't it? So that's why the boiling of water is a physical change. Understood? You see, the water molecules are closer together in water and they drift apart. The water molecules drift apart in steam, but the water molecules, they don't change. Similarly, melting of ice is a physical change. Again, as ice melts, the water particles remain water particles. They are very closely bound in ice and they are loosely bound in water. However, again, water molecules remain water molecules. It's just the state of matter that's changing, isn't it? The actual substance is still water. As I just said, physical changes are easily reversible. Therefore, you can put a plate over the steam formed when water boils and the steam will immediately condense to form water. Similarly, you can again put the water that's formed after the melting of ice in the freezer of a refrigerator and again you'll get back the ice. So it's all water. So physical changes are reversible. Yet another example of a physical change is when we form a solution. If you add salt to water, salt dissolves in water. Now dissolving of salt in water is a physical change. Why? Because again, no new substance is formed. Salt remains salt and water remains water. You can verify that by heating salt water. When you heat salt water, the water evaporates, leaving behind salt. So salt hasn't changed, isn't it? Because had salt changed, then on evaporating salt water, we wouldn't have obtained salt. We are obtaining salt on evaporating salt water because salt has just occupied, the spaces between the water particles. Salt particles occupy the spaces between water particles, but salt is still salt and water is still water. No new substance has been formed. Similarly, we can reverse the change, as again heating salt water yields salt and water. So this is a physical process. Here we go. This is the salt that has been obtained after heating. Breaking of glass is a very fascinating example of another physical change. If you take a glass bottle and throw it on the ground, the bottle breaks. Let's do it again. Here you can see the glass break. Isn't it fun to break glass bottles like this? Well, this is a physical change. It's a physical change because glass still remains glass. No new substance is being formed. The molecules of glass are being rearranged, isn't it? Like when the bottle breaks, a part of the glass molecules are arranged in one place, another part are arranged in another place, but basically glass remains glass, even when you smash a glass bottle. Therefore, breaking of glass is a physical process. So there you go. We've studied so many examples of a physical process. The one important characteristic of a physical change is that no new substance is formed. The same substance can undergo rearrangement, but nothing new is formed. Let's solve an example problem to further clear our concepts. Which of the following is a physical change? Melting of gold, burning of a magnesium ribbon, melting of wax, hammering of a nail in the wall. Well, let's look at each process in detail and find out if it's a physical change or not. Melting of gold is clearly a physical change because it's very similar to melting of ice to form water. When gold is melted, liquid gold is formed, and that's not a new substance, isn't it? It's the same substance, gold. Only the particles of gold are much farther apart in liquid gold compared to solid gold. But however, gold remains gold. So this is a physical process. Then we have the burning of a magnesium ribbon. The burning of a magnesium ribbon is clearly not a physical process. This is because a new substance, magnesium oxide, is formed when magnesium is burnt in air. When magnesium burns in air, you can see the magnesium metal crumbling and forming a white powder. This white powder cannot easily be turned back into magnesium. It remains as a white powder. You cannot just reverse the process by, say, cooling the magnesium powder. You can cool the magnesium powder or heat it. It will remain magnesium oxide, a new substance that is formed. So no, burning magnesium in air is not a physical process. Understood? Let's look at the third process mentioned. Melting of wax. Well, melting of wax is, almost similar to melting of ice or melting of gold. Basically, a solid is getting converted into a liquid on being heated. Melting of wax is definitely a physical change, isn't it? After all, no new substance is formed. Wax is simply melting. One interesting point you must keep in mind here is that burning of wax, however, is not a physical change. You see, there are two things that happen when a candle burns. The first thing is that the wax near the wick of the candle starts melting. This is a physical change because the wax remains wax. It just turns from solid wax to liquid wax. However, some of the wax burns too, and when the wax burns, carbon dioxide and water vapor are produced, and therefore the wax basically turns into two gases, isn't it? The wax burns and carbon dioxide and water vapor are formed. They are completely different substances from wax, and you cannot form wax using carbon dioxide and water vapor. The process is not reversible. So that is not a physical change. Only the melting of wax is a physical change. Understood? So there you go. Melting of wax is a physical process. And the last thing we talked about, hammering a nail into the wall. That is definitely a physical change. That is because no new substance is being formed, isn't it? Only the arrangement of particles of the wall and the nail is changing. So here, it's a physical change. So that's how we solved this question and identified which of the processes mentioned was a physical one and which was not a physical one. Let's now move on to the next concept, the concept of a chemical change. So as I said, there are two types of changes, physical changes and chemical changes. As we just learned, physical changes are those in which new substances are not produced.